Hey everybody, my name is Ben, here for another Equipment Center tutorial. Today we're going to be going over the Tascam digital recorder. First we're going to go over the components, then we'll go over some of the settings. So let's take a look. So when you open up your Tascam kit, it should be nice and neat, kind of like this one is. It should also be returned this way. If it's returned messy, you could potentially get a fine, so it's important to return things as neatly as you can. So to get into the components, the main component of the Tascam kit is the Tascam itself, which comes in this pouch, which is also a component that should be featured in the kit. The Tascam itself also comes with two smaller components that are on the components list, namely the SD card, which is here in the top, and the back battery with battery packs in the back. The next component is the top windscreen, which is this and fits to the top of the Tascam itself if you're planning on recording with these mics up here. Next, there is the AC cable and power adapter, which is right here if you want to charge the Tascam or run it off of AC power. Finally, there is the USB to mini USB cable, which will export your media if you don't have a card reader. All right, so the setup for the Tascam and to start recording is pretty simple. It should be noted that for our purposes, we have a SM58 stick mic here attached via XLR as our external mic for this tutorial video. So the first thing you want to do is turn on your Tascam, which is pretty simple. All you're going to have to do is just push this button here on the side, hold it down for a little bit, and it should boot up. Now for this tutorial, I'm just going to be going over the basic buttons and functions to make sure that you're getting levels and that you're able to record without any problems. So the first switches and buttons that we're going to get to are on the back. The back of the Tascam just has these four switches, the first of which is the mic gain switch. Basically this is, think of it like a sort of a booster or dampener for your levels. So right now it's set to medium. Say for example you're not getting good enough signals, or it's a sort of a soft, quiet thing that you're recording, you may want to switch to high so that it picks up more. And if something that you're recording is maybe a little bit too loud, you might be able to switch it to low and get better levels. But for right now, medium is a good place for us to be. The next switch is the switch that says plus 48V. Now what that is phantom power. Basically what phantom power is a powering device for a microphone that we're going to be using if a microphone does not have a battery in it. The Tascam sends power from itself through the XLR cable into the stick mic to power the microphone. The next switch is the auto limiter switch, which basically helps you from spiking or peaking on any of your levels. And finally the speaker switch, which if you're doing playback, you can hear the audio that you just recorded from the speaker here in the front. Now, one of the first things that you're going to want to do when you get your Tascam is format the card, which will get rid of any unwanted or leftover files that would be left on the SD card from whoever else used it, or if you want to clear up room for yourself. And how we get there is by pressing menu, and then by using the scroll wheel here, we're going to want to scroll down to setup, press the center button to select it. You're going to want to scroll down to quick format here, select it, select execute, select yes, and it should format the card. Then we're going to exit out of that by pressing menu, menu again, and we should be on the main screen. Now, there are several different inputs or several different mics or sources that the Tascam can record to. Right now we're at XLR, which is what our microphone is being used for, or our external microphone is being used for. But let's go over some of the mics that are actually in the Tascam itself if you're not going to be using an external mic. So the first one that I'm going to switch to is the Omni mic. And the Omni mics are located right here, being the left and the right. And it's important to press the record button once to hear your levels and to gauge to where you're going to be before you actually record anything. If you see this button blinking, that means that you're not recording stuff yet, but you're in sort of a standby type mode, and you'll be able to see what levels or what your levels are at. So right now we are getting some levels from our Omni left and Omni right, and you'll see that if I tap the top of the Omni mic, it'll spike a little bit, proving that we are getting audio from that source. The next input source is the Uni setting right here. That comes from the mics at the top here. Notice how if I tap that, we'll be getting signals from there as well. The final input is the XLR input, which we'll switch to right there. And that should be coming from our external source, which in this case is the SM58 mic. It's also important to note that if you're still not getting levels, even though see that we are here, that this switch down here is switched to mic. If it is switched to line, the Tascam is going to be trying to pull audio from these sources here, but considering that we want the XLR cable source, we're going to switch that, or make sure that it is switched to the mic setting. So again, to sort of see and prove that we do have, or that we are getting audio from our external source, I'm going to touch the mic there and you'll see that we do have levels. Now, if you want to adjust how sensitive the mic is, or adjust your levels on the Tascam, that can be done by these wheels right here. You'll notice that it says both left and right. That's because if you are recording both left and right, or splitting the audio from, instead of doing a mono track, doing a stereo track, you can adjust the left and the right side if you have two inputs, or if you're recording the way that I just mentioned. And it's pretty simple. To increase your signal, you're just going to want to turn the top wheel to a higher number. In this case, we're almost at 10. For the right, which is the big wheel, and the small one on the inside is the left, which is the small wheel, which can be controlled by holding down the right wheel and turning it from left to right. So now that we have our levels set, we are ready to record with the Tascam. We're going to be recording with this mic right here. So all that we need to do to record, considering that this is in standby because it's flashing, just press record again, and we should be recording. You'll record for however long you need to, and whenever you want to stop recording, you'll press stop. And if you want to hear what you just played back, you'll just press play. And if you have headphones attached, you should hear it in the headphones, or if you have the speaker setting on, you should hear it from here. It should also be important to note that the level adjusted here just adjusts the volume in your headphones, not the sensitivity of the Tascam itself. All right, that concludes our tutorial on the Tascam digital recorder. If you have any questions, feel free to call the cage at the number below, or you can stop by for some one-on-one time with the equipment. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time.